Now more than ever, innovative technologies are fueling change and sparking new ways of thinking. Collaboration between corporations and startups is key to staying at the forefront of these trends. However, finding the right startups can be expensive, time-consuming, and ineffective. But Plug and Play is here to help. As a corporate partner, you will gain access to a whole ecosystem of innovation. Discover startups that meet your tech interests. Stay updated on the latest trends and network with industry peers. We will help you during every stage of your innovation journey, no matter where you are and where you want to go. Get in touch today.
Hello, everyone. Let's just start. Welcome to today's meetup, organized in partnership with our founding anchor partner, MEXT. Thank you all for joining us today. We will begin our session in just a few minutes. Before we start, let me introduce myself. I'm Emrecan Kelçek, currently leading the venture scheme at Plug and Play Turkey. Our event today will center around the theme of industrial twin transition. And of course, we plan to underline some adjacent and underlying technologies as well. In recent years, even months, we have come a long way in simulating different aspects of everyday life. We've created large models for our languages, created systems mimicking operator and driver behaviors through autonomous devices. Innovative teams and new ventures will no doubt take us through the digital industrial twins revolution as well. Next steps in this innovative process will be presenting us with new opportunities in elevating operational effectiveness, reducing carbon footprint, and extracting more performance. So today, with all this in mind, we're here to explore the overall evolution of our industrial landscape by focusing on data-driven applications in manufacturing, digitalization of supply chains, and new alternatives in energy. AI-driven asset management and innovation management will also be under the spotlight. We will start with an intro speech from our partner MEXT and continue with a special guest speaker. After these, we will present you with a selection of top-tier startups that have been driving digital industrial twin setups with their technologies. I also want to remind you that here at Plug and Play, we nurture a powerful and extensive network. We've partnered with over 800 companies, more than 70,000 startups, and 200 plus venture firms. Having ties with universities, governments, various other stakeholders, Plug and Play creates a strong ecosystem that can make a difference. You can check our website and YouTube channel to see some of our achievements. Our main goal in organizing events like this is to help accelerate your corporate innovation. You can stay updated on our events, connected with the startups presenting today, or contact us for more information. Thank you all again for tuning in. I'll leave the stage to Ece Akın Armutak, Sustainability and Innovation Manager at MEXT.
Thank you, Emrecan. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm very pleased to be here today. In brief, for someone who doesn't know MEXT, MEXT is the Digital and Green Transformation Technology Center founded by Turkish Metal Employers Association 3.5 years ago. And we are giving technical consultancy, capability building programs, and serving a wide ecosystem for manufacturing companies to reach out global and local technology providers and startups. And here, one of my main responsibility here is building sustainability services for last 2 years. And from the entrepreneurship perspective, I'm leading startup collaboration and innovation. And at MEXT, we are approaching sustainability and innovation by adding digitalization perspective as well. And therefore, today we are covering multiple topics by listening to different solutions from startups. Actually, today challenges are so obvious, and the main is the climate change. And in line with our approach, I would say technology-driven sustainability measures goes hand in hand with operational excellence and efficiency. And based on a recently published report, like in collaboration with Vertical Firm and Accelerator, Digital solutions increases efficiency, circularity, transparency, and which reduces also up to 20% of CO2 emissions, which is a huge effect of the digital transformation on sustainability. And from the first day of the opening of MEXT and from the first day in collaboration with Plug and Play, actually, we focus on Industry 4.0, new material mobility solutions. And now we are much more focusing on the climate tech startups. And we are also adding their solutions in our digital factory and scaling up their solutions within our network. And today's event actually also important in terms of creation of the different perspective, different aspects, and to listen our partner startups. Hope participants can find relevant solutions for their business needs and also problems. Hope to have a great event, and I'm looking forward to listen all presentations and the key. Thank you so much, Emrecan. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Ece, for this insightful welcoming speech. MEXT is certainly a focal point for a myriad of technologies and startups. Now I'd like to introduce you to our guest speaker, Keith Norman. Keith is an energy executive with a passion for leading large international organizations and innovatively transforming complex businesses through operational optimizations, behavioral science, and human-centered design. Keith is currently the Chief Sustainability Officer at Lighten. Lighten is a super material application company that's on a mission to use their innovative materials to enable performance and decarbonization impacts across various industries. Without further ado, let's listen to Keith.
Thank you and good morning. I'm going to turn on my camera. Well, thank you and good morning, and hopefully you can see my photo and my screen now. I guess good afternoon there and good morning from California. Excited to talk today, and really wanted to talk through really with this focus on hard to abate sectors and the focus on sort of the rise of hard technologies as opposed to software technologies that are really at the cornerstone of how we're going to decarbonize and move towards a net zero economy. Now, we won't neglect software technologies here. Software is always a part and going to be a part of decarbonization. We really want to hone in on maybe some of the unique aspects of hard tech versus software, and then specifically how that plays out in the decarbonization sector. So my name is Keith Norman, Chief Sustainability Officer at Lighten. Really going to focus on the lessons learned that we've had from Lighten. If you're unfamiliar with the company, we're a growth stage startup and have recently raised just over $410 million to really bring a new material into the market called three-dimensional graphene. So it's a hard tech sort of deep science materials discovery, and we've been using that material to actually build decarbonizing applications. And so we are building next generation batteries for the EV sector called lithium sulfur batteries. We are building lightweighted and decarbonized plastics where we can pull 50% of the hydrocarbons out of composites and plastics without reducing its performance. And we're also building next generation sensors, so an entirely new way to sense our environment that we're using for broad sensing of infrastructure and environmental toxins. So, with that, we've been able to, as part of this raise, bring on a large number of strategics, including one of the largest auto manufacturers in Stellantis, one of the largest supply chain and logistics companies in FedEx, one of the largest manufacturing industrial companies in Honeywell, and one of the largest network and infrastructure companies in Nokia. And so this has been a kind of a big part of how we've built the company, is really gaining these strategic relationships to go after these hard to abate sectors. And as we've done that, we've been pairing up with each of these sectors, really focusing on how to take our materials and our products and drive that towards how to help them achieve their net zero goals. But enough on Light. I want to get to the lessons here and maybe some concepts that are helpful to this audience as you're thinking about growing your businesses or thinking about potentially investing in the space. I actually started as an investor in Lighten, as I invest in energy tech and clean tech startups, and then recently, about a year ago, joined the leadership team to help grow the business as they moved from kind of the earlier stage into growth stage. So, interesting of, the lessons I want to share here are very, independent of, I share a little bit on specifically what we're going to solve, but the opportunity space here is enormous. We've recently was at one of McKinsey's annual events on hyperscaling green businesses. And their projection that they've been sharing around the world is that to achieve a net zero economy, we need to produce 1,000 unicorns and 300 decacorns by 2030. And that is by 2050, not by 2030, by 2050. And there's just an enormous number when you think about it. So for every unicorn is a company valued at more than $1 billion. A decacorn is a company valued at more than $10 billion. So it just highlights the massive opportunity space across every one of these sectors here around, that we show on the right-hand side. The opportunity space is almost unlimited. But the key thing as we look at each of these requires innovation in of the physical infrastructure. So it's a true rebuilding of the infrastructure. So what's particularly unique, I think there's some obvious differences that we all know between hard tech and software startups and investing. And I certainly did before joining and diving in with Lighten. But there's a number of sort of unique nuances that started to develop as we've spent this journey over now 8 years of building the company and fundraising to try to drive the capital necessary to build a company that can really go after these well-established, significant infrastructure investment sectors. So one of those, maybe the first is that, we think about, investing in these, what has been viewed in the software space as these exponential curves of growth, and sometimes called as a hockey stick, where you've got that slower period, and then you launch up this exponential curve, and the growth can be incredibly rapid. I would contend that the model for hard tech and clean tech investing and growing a business is an exponential growth opportunity, but it doesn't look like a hockey stick. It looks more like a wave, in these big, multi-decade waves. And we've had a few of these in the past. So you could think about, digitization in general has had this, this multi-decade wave that has really grown and now impacts pretty much everything in the, every piece of the economy, and every job and every person's lives. We look at AI, and AI has had somewhat of this similar wave type of approach where you have these breakthrough technology, but it's taken decades to really gain its traction. But when it does, it's this enormous kind of impacting everybody wave. We really see the clean tech space having that same.
Sorry to interrupt, but we can't see your screen. We lost your screen. Sorry to interrupt.
All right, let's see.
We have it now.
Thank you. Come back. Okay, good. Thank you. This big multi-decade wave. So the opportunity space is enormous, but the timelines are significant. So what's that mean when you need to go, an opportunity to get behind this incredible wave that can drive a ton of momentum, but you need time and energy to get there. And staying power is this is not a straight path, but we'll have a number of up and downs and be sort of tumultuous and like getting into a big wave. And so you have to have the staying power. So the other thing that we've seen is dramatically different is, the software space is dominated by this shift to a winner take all. And so that, that's the Googles and the Metas of the world that have been able to come in and really dominate a huge industry and essentially become a, near monopoly. I would have argued with you when we started the company and, throughout that, hardware and hard tech is distinctly different in that because of the huge infrastructure investments, because of the huge cost to scale up, that your you're far away from a winner take all, and then actually you're very opposite. Well, there'll be many winners. Something that has maybe shocked us as we've gone through this and seen as we enter the EV space and the battery space for electric vehicles, that surprisingly that industry over the last decade plus has started to not quite get to a winner take all, but start to get to a winner take most scenario in hard tech. And so if you look at Tesla and their domination of the EV space, and even some of the Chinese manufacturers of electric vehicles and batteries that have been able to take a vast market share. The market is actually starting to play that a potential winner take most is starting to emerge there, which drives the need to think about the aggressiveness of, if you do have a solution that's working, how do you really scale it and scale it fast to try to drive as much staying power in the market. And so this has been a big shift in our strategy, which went from we're going to solve how to build the first batteries and then build a small factory and then go build our first small gigafactory and then we'll get that working and then go build multiple gigafactories somewhat sequentially after that, to a strategy that we recognize now we're going to have to invest to build multiple, to much more rapidly build up gigafactory manufacturing and to start doing those in parallel. So as one factory is being built, you're already starting on the second factory because of this dynamic of speed in terms of trying to enter the market. And to be able to do that effectively, maybe the third learning here is the size of the technology moat matters, and that matters a lot in terms of success. So we spent, of our 8 years going on 9 years, we spent 7 of those years in stealth mode. So not talking about what we were doing, not raising money from institutional investors, but really to try to prove that we could build a really significant moat. So as we enter, example, the battery industry, we're entering with a battery that's 50% higher energy density, 50% lower weight, entirely can be sourced and manufactured with local materials, so entirely disrupting the supply chain, and another of other sort of really disruptive characteristics. But what we found is if you're going to be battling for multiple decades, you're going to be battling to take market share and really and take that from incumbent companies. A 10% improvement, even a 15% improvement in what we have today, oftentimes is not enough. Even if technology is better, the risks, the time scales, the investment needs to disrupt and reformulate that industry towards your solution suggests that unless there is just an incredibly big prize at the end of that, it's very hard to get adoption and to get the capital necessary to go after that. So having this enormous technology mode is very, very different than a software player, where even just a small difference can drive a lot of user adoption because of the low switching cost. This is really almost the exact opposite for this industry, for clean tech and hard tech investing. One of the things, if you are starting out on the earlier stage or or evaluating companies, what we found in many of the peers that the network of building these hard tech companies have found is, you can estimate how much time and money you need, and then realistically 2 to 3x that. It is, the timelines can be enormous, and the barriers that you need to overcome are equally enormous. So for ourselves, we've had to invest heavily to have a team in Washington, D.C., and now investing in a team in the European Union that are influencing regulations and changes in the IRA bills, influencing the language that is put into how those are all executed. And that takes, enormous time and energy to try to drive those changes in regulations, in our case. But what it really just highlights is that, is the ability to fundraise is a core competency, and it can be a core advantage as you drive your solutions forward. We sometimes think that the best technology is going to win, and what we found is that that's simply not enough. You have to have the best technology. That's why the moat matters, but you also have to be incredible at fundraising. We've had almost 8 years of continuous fundraising. We raised the first $210 million without a single institutional investor, all from private high net worth individuals. And have actually had more than 900 individuals on our cap table that we have raised money from. And so it is a true core competency of the business. And the recommendation is that I don't think that is unique. I think that is sort of the requirement to build these companies, is to be confident at that. Sell it before you build it. So there's an interesting, as we think about the phases of trying to grow a hard tech company and grow the hard tech solutions, the early days, as you start to raise at your seed rounds and those smaller dollar amounts to really prove the technology, it's about a great idea can drive, and a great potential to disrupt the market can drive the investment you need. As you start to scale, you start to build facilities, we find it becomes increasingly more difficult to raise money when you need large amounts of money, into the tens and hundreds of millions of dollars, to build a facility, but you still have technical risk. And so one of the formulas that we found to be really clear is when we walk into investors to go build, first of its kind manufacturing facilities, you're walking in with really 3 different challenges you have to face. Of, if you didn't have any technology risk and you were just to go build factory number 10, there's a large amount of capital out there to go do that for a good business. But when you're walking in, you still have technology risk that you have to solve. You likely have manufacturing risk, because it's a first of its kind facility. So you're doing some unique things, manufacturing in the first, this technology the first time. And you have commercial risk, in that you need customers to adopt this and abandon existing technology. Almost nobody will give you the money needed to build a manufacturing facility with technical risk, with manufacturing risk, and with commercial risk. And so you need to de-risk 2 of those. You'll never de-risk all 3. That's the nature of a breakthrough new innovation. But you really need to de-risk 2 of those. And so in our case, we've spent a large amount of time trying to de-risk the technology as much as possible, but recognizing that there's no way to drive that to zero. And so we have spent the time to ensure the technology can be manufactured on exactly the same manufacturing lines and equipment that are typical electric vehicle batteries manufactured on. And we built a small pilot facility that really isn't going to drive, the economics of it won't drive a ton of revenue, but it proves that we can actually manufacture this with the exact same technology and manufacturing practices out there today. So we've been able to de-risk that risk. And then this other piece is we are working heavily with those early investors, the Honeywells, the Stellantis, the FedExes, and new customers, to actually pre-sell what we're building on these conditional contracts that basically say, if we can deliver you, in this case, a battery at the specs that we've defined, that we believe we're going to get to, will you agree to buy that battery at some point in the future, typically contracted in the 2026 through 2030 time period. So those offtake agreements are critical to de-risk the second piece, which is the commercial side. And once you can de-risk 2 of those 3, money can start opening up in the market to start to go build these tens of and hundreds of millions of dollar facilities that are required. Maybe the last unique thing here is we think about, clean tech investments, decarbonizing investments. And this is coming from a chief sustainability officer. Green doesn't sell. Green can sell in the early adopter phase, and green can sell from a concept in terms of getting those early funds you need to go build an idea. But as we start to scale that business, what we have found very clearly is greener is not the formula. Better is the formula, meaning that the product has to perform better. It has to have a cost advantage, or at least cost neutral relative to the performance, and it has to be greener. And what we found, if you can only solve one of those, better performance, better cost, better environmental footprint, you probably don't have a business. And so it's really critical to look, if I solve one, probably not a business that's going to scale. If I can solve two, I can have a solid business, but constantly going to be struggling to really get adoption into the market, get the capital I need. If you can produce all three, a better performing, better cost, lower footprint product, you can build a really big business. And so, what we found is focusing on how do we design our products to ensure that we can deliver all three of those in the market. And that's actually, as we build a materials company, have been focused on only going after applications. We have a huge number of applications we can use our technology to solve one or two of those challenges, but we really are only going after things where we can solve all three and make just simply better products for the market, because we know that's what's going to be necessary to drive adoption and drive the capital needed to actually build that business. So that's perspective I wanted to share this morning and this afternoon for all of you on the differences as we think about scaling these clean tech companies in really thinking about how hard tech is going to be the big driver of how we get to a net zero economy. So thank you and appreciate the time.
Thank you very much, Keith, for your certainly invaluable perspective. Also, we know you're based in the US. A special thanks for joining us this early in the day for you. Moving on, environmental effects and carbon footprint goals are substantial factors to consider when trying to enable our industrial operations to be, as Keith said, better. As the ever-increasing demand for operational efficiency takes center stage, tools enabling digital industrial twins have seen a considerable surge in today's dynamic startup landscape. Today, we will learn more about this topic through 10 startups founded by experts working to make the world a better place. So let's start with the startup introductions we've all been waiting for. We'll have Khenda first. Khenda is an AI-powered continuous improvement platform for the manufacturing industry, aiming to achieve heightened operational excellence. Let's listen to Seren from Khenda.
Thank you, Emrecan, for the introduction, and thank you, MEXT and Plug and Play, for this opportunity. I will be sharing my screen. Hello, everyone. I'm Seren Tüsün, Senior Business Developer at Khenda. In the manufacturing industry, small profit margins are the persistent challenge, and especially in the economic fluctuations. So that is why the continuous improvement is a great tool for eliminating waste and increasing the efficiency to reach the operational excellence. However, there is a huge block against this improvement, manual data measurement. Engineers spend 37% of their time on these manual data gatherings, and yet it's not enough to measure all of the processes in the facilities. And if you cannot measure it, you cannot improve it, right? That is where Khenda comes in. Our AI-based video analytics automatically measures the cycle times and highlights the parts where engineers should focus on to increase efficiency. They use a simple camera like smartphone or GoPro for video recording, upload it to our platform, and get the results. This affords us with more time to focus on what customer values, the time, like engaging change agents or decision-making processes. The next phase after the measurement in the continuous improvement is analyze, and we provide enhanced digitized engineering tools such as digital time study, NTM, cost analysis, and work instructions for deeper analysis. Improvement is the main purpose of what we do all of these analysis and measurements, right? So by utilizing the data that is already collected in the platform, our line balancing module fine-tunes the workload distribution and helps engineers to detect and correct bottlenecks for a smoother flow of production. On the other hand, the Lean Assistant module automatically provides operational tables with AI. I would like to also mention one of the use cases that it is also a testimonial that we just published with Nobel Automotive. Their approach and integration of Khenda gained great values. By using the measure parts, they have analyzed thousands of cycle times, and they have unraveled the potential capacity increase. They discovered the improvements via platform tools and implemented the productivity gains in their production. They have reached 7% overall production efficiency increase and gaining 13 times more than they have invested in the platform. We started to work with Ford Motor Company's 3 locations in the US. Now they are starting to scale our solution in their other global facilities. Each of these companies in here uses Khenda as paying customers. I would like to mention also our technical capabilities for real-time analysis too. For example, it's possible to apply Khenda's technology to detect and visualize the micro stoppages in the production line, and also combine this information with our current platform, our current solution, such as Archedix use case. Our customers are mainly from the Europe and Asia. We have just entered the North American market. For early scaling, we are focusing on the 2 verticals, automotive and home appliances. There's 2 reasons for it. First, there's a strong global competition, so they strictly focus on the continuous improvement. And second, the efficiency fluctuations between their global facilities is big. And thus we create a huge impact by enabling a fast and easy measurement for the root cause analysis. We are moving our headquarters to Michigan, and we have created a sales team in there, and we will acquire partnerships to distribute our solutions. In the second quarter, 2024, we are going to raise our next investment round, Seed Plus, in the US. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, happy to answer them.
Thank you very much for the presentation, Sarah.
You're welcome.
For our next presentation, I'd like to introduce to you Yolda. Founded in 2016 in Germany, Yolda is an efficient and sustainable forwarder with AI dispatching. With Yolda, you can streamline your supply chain and automate logistics operations to save time and resources. We'll hear more details from Volkan, who's the CEO and co-founder at Yolda.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. This is Volkan Özkan. I'm CEO and co-founder of Yolda. And thank you, MEXT and Plug and Play, for making this organization happen. So what we are doing is we are concentrating on freight forwarding, especially in the trucking industry. The trucking industry is a very consolidated market, fragmented market, not so consolidated. As example, like the ocean freight, where we have big players who own lots of the assets of the market. So in ocean freight, as example, 4 players own circa 90% of all assets in the transportation industry. And in the trucking market, you have over 95% of trucking fleet owner companies own less than 10 fleets. And we have millions of fleets all over Europe and all over the US and traveling around. And the organization, so this means the classical structure is so you have a shipper company, so a manufacturer. The manufacturer works with the so-called forwarder, and these forwarders are organizing these small fleet owners. And the organization of these fleet owners is a huge manual process. So it means you find the right trucking company, then you organize, you consolidate loads, and you make, it's a physical process, but you make lots of decisions during that process. So it means you have to decide which trucker should I book. Can I consolidate it in the same line, loads of different clients who ship to the same district, as example? Or can I book a truck in a one way, or could I book it, as example, in a round trip? So it means with the backhaul inclusive. And we started to digitize these data informations first. So it means we we built up workflow solutions that we have known as Yolda, which trucker is making what kind of shipments, how long does it take to transport the shipment from, let's say, Hamburg to Munich, and that we can make predictions on that to book truckers in different ranges. We started the company in 2020 in the Turkish national area. So first made also only transportations in the Turkish domestic area. And 2022, we expanded our business to Germany as well. And we are working with over 10,000 carrier partners. So it means these are trucking companies which are fully onboarded, registered, and once worked with Yolda and have access over 50,000 trucks with these 10,000 carrier partners. We raised over 10 million euros in funding from Speed Invest, Collective Spark, and also MEXT. And we are managing circa 3,500 shipments, B2B shipments by the meantime, always, per month. So, and the aim of Yolda is basically, you see that in the slide. So we have registered, as said, these trucking companies. We onboard these trucking companies, so we get data information like what kind of trailers these companies have. We get historical tour data information like these trucking companies are making partial loads, or this trucking company is making only full truck loads, and the favorite routes, what they are driving. And we make integrations to these trucks, also through their so-called telematics software. So we integrate into these trucks that we can get GPS coordinates. Or if it's a single-owned company, so it means the truck driver is the same person like the owner of the truck, freelance truck driver, we call them. And then we give them also a mobile app that we can track their GPS coordinates. And they have also a possibility to give us their capacity sharing. So kind of, this is my weekly plan, and this is what I need from Yolda as additional transportations to utilize my capacity better. And then the big business is basically a matchmaking solution. So we are getting back to here. We have mainly enterprise FMCG clients like Kraft Heinz, Metro, Avato, IFCO, Bunting, or in Turkey, Trendyol & Co. And these big enterprise clients, they're sending their load requests through a platform to Yolda. So saying, okay, I need 50 trucks from A to B tomorrow. And then the AI algorithm makes the dispatching and recommends the loads to the most related truck drivers. And we're using, so this is the split of the business. So it means we are getting a shipper request, and during the shipper request, the AI engine makes the pricing. So it predicts also what kind of, which purchasing price we might have, that we can decide on the sales price with that solution. And we have then an AI dispatcher, which finds the most related truck driver, and then all workflow tools for invoicing, proof of delivery document upload, carrier payment, and we automate with that solution from end to end, from giving a freight code to making the delivery and the payments for the parties. And this makes us against the classical forwarder. So the classical forwarder makes the phone calls and organizes the trucks, circa 3 times more efficient in the unit economics. Especially the road freight forwarding industry is a very tight margin business. So you have not high margins in this area because it's very competitive. And therefore, automation and good utilization of trucks is getting more and more important in this area to be competitive. And this is also a basic slide. So we are looking in lots of different collaborative filtering. So the carrier route popularity, when we make the dispatching, is this a route which the carrier has popular? Is it driving on that area? Is it, as example, we look on backhaul opportunities. We make predictions like the truck driver has transported from Hamburg to Munich, as example, means, and it takes 7 hours as a transport time, and then means he has to wait the night, and tomorrow in the morning he can be a good backhaul partner for us when we have it from Munich to Hamburg a transport. So these kind of information, since we make a scoring that we have then the best fit driver, and we use also augmented AI. So it means we combine people with AI as well, and give, if we don't find in the first preferred tracker the recommendation, the first preferred tracker, then augmented AI is working with an operational support center together, that we trigger also the second best, the third best, the fourth best truck drivers to take this shipment. And the good thing is that the system is always learning. So kind of, if the trucker is saying, hey, that price is too low, we are not accepting it, then it's getting as a feedback loop into the system that we can price afterwards in the second and the next shipments with the most liable prices afterwards. We're acting in Germany and in Turkey in the inland area. And we're making also cross-border transportations, as said, so palletized full truckloads to Benelux, Spain, Portugal, and Italy. So that's the focus area of Germany, of our regional focus. And our biggest share is at the moment in Germany. So we're making circa 70% of our volume is coming from the German national market. These are the tools. So we have developed the Yolda operating system. This is an in-house system which is used by our admins and operational support centers. It's creating tickets. It's integrated with HubSpot that we can manage all the transportations. And we have a carrier tool in app and web, which are our trucking companies are using, and the shipper platform for our manufacturers who gives us the load, the transports. These are the focus areas. So LTL is less than truckload, full truckload, and groupage when we make cross-border is the range which we cover in transports. And actually, we're processing circa 12 million euros on gross revenue per year. And as I said, 2 digits on margin, what we are creating. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Volkan, for sharing an overview of Yolda. As our next startup, I'd like to introduce to you Maestro Hub. Founded in 2023, Maestro Hub creates a smart data layer as a unified namespace through connecting IT and OT data to gain insights. I will leave the stage to Yasir to hear more about Maestro Hub.
Thank you, Emrecan, and thank you, MEXT, for having us here in this invaluable event. So, my name is Yasir Tunçer. I am the CEO of Maestro Hub, and Maestro Hub helps manufacturers to overcome data integration and architecture challenges via providing single source of truth industrial data governance platform. So I believe you most heard this graph, digital transition empowers sustainability transition. So we have this sweet spot where digital amplifies sustainability. However, what is not told as a myth of this transition is what is underlying under this iceberg. The exponential integration efforts, time-consuming data preparations, and not highly skilled workforce in the manufacturing organizations. For a traditional IoT approach, on average, manufacturers spend more than $1 million per year to integrate different systems in manufacturing environment. Most of the applications are isolated and have individual interfaces. On the other hand, when you're trying to integrate these pieces, the puzzle is not quite fitting. Data workers are spending like half of their time on non-value-added activities such as searching, preparation. And on top of that, manufacturers are struggling to attract highly skilled workforce that can conduct this kind of data analysis. Business units are requesting several predictive models, detailed analysis, but we don't have that much data scientist data analyst. Gartner actually highlights this as the biggest adoption risk factor for emerging technologies. What we do differently in Maestro Hub, rather than this point-to-point integration, we create a smart data layer where you can connect your data sources with just a few clicks. That reduces the integration effort by more than 80%. And when we are sending these data sources, the organized data layer, before sharing with any application, we give a context. What does that data mean? How we are going to transform that data into an information. And we do that in real time with our automated contextualization. What you feed to other systems is an actionable, already normalized according to time series data where you can make analysis. And we do all of those through drag and drop interactive onboarding approach. We believe it is not for a small unit of people to conduct this kind of analysis. It should be conducted by every employee in the organization. Anyone should be able to conduct their own analysis, and turning them into a citizen analyst, which will be eliminating the lack of talent. What do we mean by interactive onboarding? Basically, anyone without prior software experience can use Maestro Hub like a smartphone, how to connect the data sources. There are thousands of different protocols. The system automatically guides you through how to connect, how to establish that data and organize in a semantic hierarchy so other systems can consume that information in real time. So how does that work? We deploy our solution in the same day, in an hour, and connect data sources in just minutes with more than 30 industrial communication protocols into this smart data layers in a secure way. And we transform that data to information before sharing to any application with our real-time modeling. And you can orchestrate your data flows according to your needs. When to send data on multiple systems, you have the complete control on your data flow and access. And we provide data health insights where you can monitor everything in real time. So an example from a chemical manufacturer, it's an industry agnostic solution. We have customers from chemical, food and beverage, building material manufacturer, automotive, durable goods, even cement. And it turns into a value really rapidly. What we mean by that is a chemical manufacturer had this problem where their auxiliary equipment to manage the steam production was not integrated with their production systems. And the business logic was, if there's not enough customer orders, then we will have the minimum capacity on the auxiliary equipment. And the optimization cannot be completed on the same day because of the hurdles in everyday life of that operator. What we have done is actually connected these data sources to organized data layer in Maestro Hub and model the utility cost per production quantity, where we identified the break-even point in real time so they can understand, okay, if the quantity for the customer order below this threshold, it's not productive for us to produce in this time frame. By making these informed decisions in just 1 week, they saved more than 8 tons of steam per day, which yielded more than 45K a year saving for this energy, for this chemical manufacturer. With just 1 week of data connecting, analyzing, and making an informed decision can have this kind of sustainability impact and digital transformation impact on your organization. So what we preach is information fuels innovation. You have tons of different data sources. You are rich in terms of data, but the organization suffers from poor information. We need these different data sources to organize in a layer where we can see everything, because we have energy consumption details where we can monitor energy consumption per product, or in terms of purchasing, we can identify the cost per unit for energy, or when we are trying to optimize our energy consumption, we can identify energy anomalies by comparing this to circle data, or sustainability team can calculate carbon footprint, or even AI teams can consume all of this data to find hidden improvement opportunities. What we have is, you have these puzzle pieces where you don't see the whole picture in a clear fashion. In a digitally transformed way, you can see every improvement opportunity where you will have this organized and clean information. Our architecture is actually acknowledged as the reference IoT architecture by Gartner, as well as the modern IoT infrastructure. So what we do is we multiply the projects that you can do by 5 times and create 3 times return on investment by reducing this integration by more than 80%, saving 50% on data analysis time wasted, and with empowered domain experts where they can conduct this kind of analysis. So we say, who's ready to turn data into actionable information? Thank you.
Thank you, Yasir, for joining us today. Moving on, transportation and infrastructure is a key driver of industrial efficiency. To that end, ADASTEC develops level 4 automated driving software platform for buses. These buses automated by ADASTEC are currently operational in the US and the EU. I will leave the stage to the CEO and co-founder of ADASTEC to present their solution. Murat, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Emrecan. Just a second as I share my screen. Okay, hello everyone. This is Murat. I am co-founder and chief operating officer of ADASTEC. What we do is we automate public transport, and the problem we solve is the traffic problem that we all have in Turkey and around the world. As people continue to prefer cars for public for transportation, this problem is not going away. Even automating robotaxis doesn't solve the problem either, because it doesn't take the cars away from the streets. So the solution we introduce is to make public transport more preferable. We do that by automating the bus, taking the driver out. There are three reasons for this. The first one is the public transport authorities cannot put more transport services because drivers are expensive. Each bus needs around 3.5 drivers to operate 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. And it's a big financial burden for public transport. Second one is there are not enough drivers anyway. So especially in North America and in Europe, you cannot find buses, and most of the fleets are underutilized. And the third one is the energy cost. We know that green energy is entering the scene with electric, but still the drivers used to drive diesel buses cannot drive optimally these electric buses, and the battery lives and the ranges are a problem. So what we did is we developed FlowRide AI platform to automate the driver. And we integrated this platform with the OEMs. OEMs are bus manufacturers. And the first OEM we started to work together is a Turkish bus manufacturer, Karsan, and automated electric bus version with our software. And FlowRide AI does not only take the driver functions, it also has to operate in any condition. That means bad weather conditions, day and night, in various traffic conditions. And as public transport can go up to 50 kilometers per hour in the cities, we had to support these speeds. And the plans were to take the drivers out by end of this year, by 2024. And our software enables, our platform enables a public bus operator to automate a route. So it's fully automated, doesn't need a driver, and can operate 8 hours without a driver in a pre-planned route and under any weather or lighting condition. And we also automate, of course, the bus stops, route determinations, changing of routes, road works. Our software supports all these changes, and the operator can operate without any problems. So these are some of the conditions that we handled during our operations. So this is Stavanger, Norway. You see there are rain conditions, snow conditions where you cannot see the roads. Also, we operate in the city in a very busy section of the road. We work with the traffic lights. This is Michigan, United States. Here we are integrated with the traffic lights over V2X. And we are the only company who can operate in a tunnel scenario. So this is also in Norway. Also, you see some other examples like night drive under heavy rain where visibility is very poor and cyclists and pedestrians jump from the door. So we started these live operations in 2021. So for the last 2.5 years, we have vehicles on the road operating according to the country's regulations. And we have license to carry passengers in Europe and United States. And also, we are also continuing our development, like platooning technology for rapid bus transit lines, synchronizing the movements. So our business model is we develop the platform, we work with the OEM, so everything is factory fitted. We don't retrofit the buses. So when the bus comes out of the manufacturing line, it is already homologated and it has road permission. We work with the country's road authorities to get permissions to operate in full automated mode. Currently, we work with 3 OEMs and 4 different bus models. So Karsan is, as you know, is Turkish. Custom Denning is in Australia, and Vicinity Motors in North America. It's manufacturing for Canada and United States. And the Turkish Karsan model is sold all around Europe, and now they have right-hand drive and started selling in Japan as well. So as I mentioned, integration, there are many facets of automated driving, so there's no driver in the end. You see driver here, but also only for regulation. We are 99.5% fully automated in our operations. So when the driver is out of the bus, we have to inform the passengers, we have to inform the pedestrians, we have to inform the authorities about the operations. So these are all integrated inside our platform, and we give inside the bus and outside the bus warnings and information to all participants of the transport. Here you see our new route in Stavanger. This is a paid route, as you see. People pay €3 for each trip, and we make around 16 full rounds during the day. And also in the United States, we make around 10 rounds of scheduled trips inside our routes. One thing we are working very detailed is safety. As you know, when the driver's out, you have to be compliant to many regulations, so that in case of an unwanted road event, you have to prove that it's not a software problem. So we work with all these listed standards. Also, as I mentioned, we work with the road authorities in Europe and North America to write the new standards right now. And I'll go over these because it's just 5 minutes of time. So I'll just mention that we are operational in 6 countries right now. In US, Finland, Norway, France, Romania, and Turkey. So each of these countries have different regulations and different road scenarios that we have to support. We are the first and the only full-size automated bus operating in North America. This is from NHTSA, the authority that gives automated road operations in the United States. We are the only company right now. And thank you. We are based in Michigan. We have our R&D in Turkey, and also we have a European operations office in the Netherlands. Thank you for your time, and I would like to also thank MEXT for giving us this opportunity. If you have any questions, you can write in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Murat, for this great presentation. Next, we will listen to Sensemore, an industrial asset management platform with hardware, software, and AI-powered tools designed for machine health analysis. Without further ado, let's listen to Can Aksu, co-founder and CGO, to learn more about Sensemore.
Hello,
Hi, Can, you can take it away.
Perfect. Hello, everyone, and thanks for this opportunity. I really appreciate both Plug and Play and MEXT for this opportunity. Today, I will give you a brief explanation about what we are doing and what we do about this digital twin issue. Okay. I think you can see my screen. Perfect. Okay. Our motto is health machines, sustainable business. Our aim is make the machines run in a sustainable and healthy way. What we do is this. We analyze machine health from one end to the other end and predict failures in the machines with root causes, not just with anomalies. And we do this by using IoT, AI, and also the digital twin. Actually, we have three pillars. First, the hardware or data acquisition from the machines. Secondly, our platform to show you the data of what hardware collected and analyze it and give our end users the result. Okay, here's a sample application. This is a simple pump, which you can find in manufacturing plants, in utilities, in power plants, almost everywhere. In the sample application, it shows our devices about how we collect data. In some cases, we collect data with our hardware. Like we have 3 different kinds of sensors. We put this on the machines and upload this data to our cloud-based software. After that, when required, we sometimes use the sensors on the field. Again, connect this to a Sensemore-made hardware in order to get this data with the highest quality to predict the machine health. The good thing is about these devices is these devices are collecting approximately 25,000 data samples in a second and uploading this data to our clouds. In the cloud system, we do a digital twin. In this digital twin, it is actually collecting both sensor data and also the informations about what we are measuring. We are just telling our system that we are measuring a pump, but in details. What kind of pump, what kind of parts it's using, what kind of power transmission, and all the mechanical issues. When we introduce all this stuff to our software and created that digital twin, our AI starts to work. Our AI is able to process 24,000 measurements, and each of these measurements consists of approximately 25,000 samples. Our system is processing that huge data in order to do the root cause analysis, do the auto tagging, and giving you the what is wrong with the machine and how much time left for the machine break. Since today's theme is based on the digital twin, I will give you a use case we do mainly to the digital twin. In this one-page report, you will see what actually processed and what you will see. In this one page, it actually shows you what you need. What is the problem? How much time left? And how to fix it. And also collects data to improve itself for machine learning algorithms. As I said, today I will give you a use case which we did with the digital twin issue. In an airport, we work with a non-moving asset. It was actually a baggage handling system's frame. Our end user was concerned about the deformation of the rails. First, we put our devices. We got the measurements. At the first glance, at the SCADA and the control system, everything was fine. Everything was going smooth. But when we put this data to our cloud system and create a digital twin, then do the AI, we start to see that there's a problem. And after doing some deeper analysis, we realized that there is deformation in the rails at this airport's baggage handling system. When we find out this, we just communicated with the site personnel and checked this on. And this is actually pretty much what you will see. It was a deformed rail, deformed belts, and this kind of stuff, but it didn't give you anything. But thanks to the AI, thanks to the changing working regimes, it was detected. And after the maintenance, things went fine, and it was flowing well. After 3 months, when we check with them, they say that we catched every problem on their system, so that system was flowing in a reliable way and a sustainable way, going smoothly, more sustainable, and less stressful. In addition to these economical issues, they say that they have approximately saved $50,000, which is approximately 32 times of what they invested at the first point. And also they decreased the carbon emission because the affected system consumes more and more energy. And to fix it, even you consume more energy. Actually, these are some of our users. In some of them, we are doing the POCs. In some of them, we are doing a pre-project. And in some of our users, we are on the scaling phase. These are in very different sectors because the machines we are working with is really, let's say that, variable, different, so that they are also in the large-scaled machines. As I said, you can see a pump in everywhere, motor, or maybe sometimes special purpose machineries like CNCs, VMCs, or packaging, or conveyor and carrier systems. These are all from me. If you have any questions, I will gladly answer them.
Thanks a lot, John, for being here with us today. Next, we have Entrapeer. Founded in the US in 2021. With their large database, Entrapeer wants to help enterprises generate instant market research to accelerate startup scaling and ensure maximum return on investment in their proof of concept projects. I will leave the stage to co-founder Eren to present their solution. Eren, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much for having me. Can you hear my voice and can you see my screen?
We can hear you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. My name is Eren, co-founder of Entrapeer. Entrapeer is an AI agent that is expert on business intelligence. Let's dive in to understand why we have built such thing. Today, we have seen great companies and we're going to see some great companies too. But at some point, I believe that you have all asked yourself that, what is the use case of this company? Or how am I going to use this technology in my day-to-day life? Or how can I form a partnership with them? If you ask this kind of a question to yourself today or any other day in your life, you are not alone. Because corporate innovation is not that easy. Actually, it's inaccessible for the most companies and most regions. The main reason behind that, it is too complex. It's a very costly operation. It requires time and real, different talent. That's why, it's a big problem for big corporation. You need to understand your needs and define it with the emerging technologies and make the connection with startups and the other players in the market. But in current picture, the majority of enterprises, they focus on mostly searching and understanding the market and looking for solutions, use cases, and the other dynamics of the market. However, they spend less time on executing the project and POCs and working on the bringing to the real life. We believe that it should be the other way around. That's why we have built Entrapeer. But when we check the existing solutions, we all are using different solutions, but we generally ended up with good old friend Google, or these days it is ChatGPT. We have built Entrapeer. Entrapeer agents translate emerging technologies into actionable business opportunities by synthesizing millions of data points. We get your needs, we understand your problems, we prioritize your strategies, and once we get your needs, we scan all millions of data points, we convert them into real actionable outputs. To do that, we have built the largest use case database of the world. We are scanning the entire startup universe. We are understanding what kind of problems they are targeting, why they are solving it, how they are solving it, and we are capturing their customer information as well. Eventually, we provide you the real use cases that you can work on, the real partnership opportunities, and the real benchmark analysis that you can work on. How we are doing it? It's really easy. Make it really simple. The inputs that we get, it is your day-to-day life experiences. What can I do with generative AI in manufacturing? What are the best use cases for a manufacturer to innovate? Once we get this kind of inquiries, by the way, it can be really special and niche ones as well. For instance, I need to reduce the energy consumption in furnaces. Once we get these kind of queries, the system finds the best possible match in our database and also in use cases. Then we provide you how you can solve it and what others are doing in the market and what could be the best potential partnership opportunity for you. Let's see in action. You're going to see how Entrapeer provides you a detailed analysis on use cases. Actually, the use cases is one of the instruments that we are using, but mainly we rely on use cases because it connects everything. On this screen, you can see we ask a simple question: what can I do on personalized banking? Even this simple query requires millions of data points. It requires days of researches if you do by yourself. We provide all the details. We get you the best potential and best possible partnership opportunities, best potential use cases for you from the market. Once you understand the use case, you can also deep dive the partnership opportunities among startups and the other players. As you can see, we show you how use cases are connecting the other startups, the other enterprises, and the other players in the market. Even if we provide you these details with search, we also allow you to make instant market research. Yes, we went beyond the search, and right now we are allowing you to conduct market research in minutes. That is the goal of Entrapeer. Let's dive into our numbers. In last year, we have done approximately 600 researches, and we are daily scanning more than 400,000 news, and we are providing and we are mining potential use cases from the market. Right now, we have more than 100,000 use cases on our platform. As I mentioned, Entrapeer is the largest use case database of the world. We have roughly scanned more than 3 million companies, and it's growing fast. Monthly, we are adding more than 10,000 companies, and we are even able to detect pivots on startups. We just started, even if we just started this month, we have scanned more than 2,000 pivots up to date. We have been working with the largest corporations of the world, and we are waiting for you to join us. Why you have to join us? Because time to market is more important than ever. Technology is changing so fast, and you have to act right now. You have to bring your project to life, and you have to leverage the technology immediately in your daily life. To able to do that, you need use cases, you need best partners, and we can help you to provide that. Thank you very much for having me today. I want to thank you, special thank you to Plug and Play and MEXT. I hope I catch the time.
Thank you very much, Eren, for being with us today.
Thank you so much. Bye.
As our next startup, I would like to introduce you to Lugath, which was founded in Istanbul in 2021. Lugath automates web, mobile, or game app localization with the power of machine translation and generative AI. Let's hear more about Lugath from their CEO and co-founder, Orçun.
Thanks to everyone who give this opportunity, especially to Plug and Play and MEXT. So let me introduce myself firstly. This is Orçun. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Lugath. Lugath is the AI-based language translation and localization management platform for going global faster. So let's imagine that we have a company with global growth targets. You may have websites, mobile apps, and maybe documents. Great. But do we really know what are the major obstacles that we need to overcome when we go into the new market? Even if the difference between your products or services change the techniques to be used, there will be no change on one topic. You have to streamline the translation and localization process to go global faster. Translation is just a message, while localization is an experience with all of your contents. If you want to grow faster globally, you need both. However, how ready are your softwares or documents for these kind of multicultural user experience dynamics? Localization is extremely important, of course, but it shouldn't take too much of your time and should never prevent you from developing your actual product or services. That is exactly why you need the power of AI translation. Lugath automates the localization process of web mobile softwares or documents with the support of machine translation systems and generative AI. When the conversation comes to translation with artificial intelligence, the first platform that comes to mind is usually Google Translate. But we often talk about the ChatGPT these days, right? There are different alternatives, and each one is very successful in its own field. We integrated with the 13 systems currently and giving service for almost 1,000 language pairs. Lugath AI can detect which system can translate better according to language and industry domain. In this way, you can start the translation process by using the system that is most compatible with your content. Additionally, thanks to our generative AI support, we also offer features such as making the translated text SEO-friendly, shortening them, or replacing them with the alternative translations according to the given context. You often use the word automation because the translation and localization process is not a one-time job, contrary to popular belief. As long as our products or services live, we have to produce, localize, and publish the new content. Great. So who are the parties of this process? We design Lugath in line with the needs of different personas, such as software developers, localization managers, product owners, and translators. We mostly work with sales and marketing, software development, and after-sales support teams. So where does the biggest problem start? Companies want to produce more content faster because going to the new market at the right time and growing fast is very important. Companies with this awareness prefer to manage the process by establishing teams inside instead of outsourcing. However, there are so many differentiated products and services in the market that each team prefers to proceed with different solutions in line with their translation and localization needs. The main problem starts right here. How will these teams and the softwares synchronize for a great localization process? 90% of the industry is stuck in the solutions such as Excel and Google Sheets to transfer the language data among teams. The scope of these documents for solution is very, very low. We cannot share all the context with human translators if necessary. Some companies have their own solutions, but these solutions are often far away from the industry standard. So there are translation tools that we call CAT tool, but since they are designed according to the translator's workflow, they cannot produce any value for other teams. The same is true for TMS, which we call translation management systems. However, Lugath is a more inclusive and expandable solution developed with an automation focus to integrate the software development and localization process. We are the official supplier of Siemens AG Germany, translating the operational guidelines of factory automation products. This process taking more than 100 days, but we are able to handle it in just 4 days. This is really great multiple for efficiency. We are also part of the translation process of Enterprise Help Center, where these documents are published. We mostly work with brands and startups serving in the different sectors such as automotive, consumer electronics, health, food, and tourism. If any live demo or meeting request comes to us, we can also share the names and the case studies of other international manufacturers that are working with us. In addition, Lugath is the exclusive translation and localization solution of the Dropbox application market. With this partnership, we are able to access a market with more than 18 million paying user and document-oriented workflows. Number of our workspaces grew 5 times in just 2 months with this integration. If you have any question about the translation and localization process, you can ask the founders at this email address. New markets means new opportunities, so think global, act local. Thank you.
Thank you, Orçun, for your presentation.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Now let's welcome SmartOpt, a deep tech company that integrates machine learning and artificial intelligence for end-to-end supply chain management. I'll leave the stage to Mertcan to hear more about SmartOpt.
Hi, my name is Mertcan Özcan. I'm the Chief Technology Officer of SmartOpt. SmartOpt is a software company specialized in supply chain optimization. Our founder is Professor Dr. Metin Türkay. He's a professor of industrial engineering at Koç University. And on the right, it's our talented and dynamic team. What do we do? We add value to digital transformation through our house-developed artificial intelligence optimization and machine learning tools. So approaching supply chains as end-to-end fashion is our difference. So supply chain consists of suppliers to manufacturers, then to distributors, retailers, and customers. So we have separate solutions for each stakeholders in supply chain, and we can integrate these solutions with each other so that it can span the entire supply chain. So what do? We obtain data from our customers and then process those data in our optimization algorithms to generate meaningful information from those data. Then we serve those information to our customers through cloud-based software as a service applications. We have 7 different products, which I will go into detail right now. And we have the ability to create custom solutions for the special needs for our customers. Our first product is SmartOpt. It has 3 main branches. First one is demand and sales forecasting. Second one is commodity and raw materials forecasting. And third one is the electricity price forecasting. In demand and sales forecasting, our aim is to predict the future demand for products. So what do? We obtain historical data from our customers, combine them with external factors such as macroeconomic indicators, our special indicators, and also the domain-specific indicators. Then we process all these data, which are statistical learning, machine learning, and deep learning models for generating a forecast over a demand forecast over an horizon. So we apply ForecastOpt solution on Arçelik, which is one of the biggest household appliance company in Europe. We predicted the demand for washing machines on 10,000 SKUs, and we were able to forecast demand for a 16-month horizon with an average error rate of 8.3%. And our second forecasting solution is raw material and commodity price forecasting. It includes common commodities and metals such as iron, steel, aluminum, and copper. Also, other raw materials that are not that common can be forecasted with sufficient data. As you can see, we serve these results through these database, through these presentations. An application of commodity price forecasting for toothbrush, where we forecasted the price of oil and oil derivatives, where we outperformed our competitors. And the third one is the electricity price forecasting, where we are able to forecast day-ahead electricity market in Turkey and also in Europe. On the right, there's the result of application for Şecam, which is one of the biggest glass manufacturers in Europe. And in our application, we were able to predict the day-ahead electricity prices on 14-day horizon with around 5 to 15 mean error rate. And leaving behind the forecasting, our second operation area is optimizing manufacturing facilities. Our solution PlanOpt is for optimizing production plans for maximum productivity. The first application was done on Mizushima Industrial Complex in Japan. And recently, one of our PlanOpt application was for the paint shop operation of a washing machine factory for BSH, the Bosch Siemens Group. This is one of the world's few applications for semi-finished product planning and scheduling optimization. So by creating the digital twin of the paint shop, we were able to obtain real-time data from the factory. And with this data, through our optimization algorithms, we were able to generate the optimal production schedule for the paint shop. And before, it was the bottleneck of the entire factory. And as a result, bottleneck was decreased, and inventory was optimized, and the productivity in assembly line were maximized. Another application of PlanOpt is for Bosch Siemens Group, and it's for machine scheduling and optimization for the metal lines inside a refrigerator production facility. Our third solution is RouteOpt, where we perform dynamic route optimization. I'm passing this slide due to time constraints. These are other applications. And MilkRunOpt is another product, which is for optimal route creation for the raw material operations of manufacturing facilities. As I mentioned, in the supply chain, this is from the suppliers to the manufacturing facilities. In one of its applications, you can notice the huge difference on the left in the before and after photos. Also, 15 to 20% cost savings were made. And the last product I'm going to mention is InventoryOpt, where we optimize your inventories on the production and distribution network. Our aim is to minimize inventory cost, optimize cycle cost, and safety stocks. The enterprises that use our solutions and our rewards. And thank you for listening. Since this was a little compressed presentation, please feel free to ask more.
Thank you for joining us, Mertcan, and telling us more about SmartOpt. Yeah. Now we will move to our presenter, RePG. Founded in Istanbul in 2016, RePG is a patented energy and water from air production deep tech. They use latent heat and waste heat sources to create renewable energy. Let's hear more about their solution from Hüseyin Karayaz.
Thank you very much. So also, I'll already shared my screen. Is it okay?
Sure, please.
Okay. Thank you very much for having us. I am Hüseyin Karayaz from RePG. RePG Energy harvesting energy and water, air-based water, from latent heat and waste heat. So our output, electricity, heating, cooling, and water. I thank you for the Kate because it's a great presentation about the hard industries, hard sector. This is what we are dealing actually. So we are aiming very hard industries. Yes, these machines are industrial energy harvesting systems from geothermal areas, factories, chimneys, boilers, and also car engines. As you see on the right side, we are using engine cooling water to produce electricity. In this strange point, and also actually our technology point is we are generating electricity from 50 centigrade to 90 centigrade in this area. Actually, just below the 100 centigrade. Worldwide, there are no technologies that can harvest energy from the low waste heat. And these are the systems that we are harvesting air-based water from 10 liters a day to 5,000 liters a day for homes, for industrial areas, for agricultural areas. And yes, this is our range extender for the cars. We have been working with the two global car companies that using this engine cooling water to generate electricity. We are just producing 1.5 kilowatts per hour, and we can use this electricity for air conditioning in the car or multimedia systems or charging the batteries. This table shows our technology, patent and products differentiation for the competitions. In three areas, we are far ahead for the competitors. The minimum operating temperature for our systems, it means 55 centigrade waste heat, low waste heat is 55 centigrade. And the delta that requires for generating energy, we require only 30 centigrade. It means in the medium, if you have 25 centigrade in the air, then if we have 55 centigrade hot water, then we can generate electricity even less than 1 kilowatts per hour. This is also the minimum capacity, also very key differentiation in hard industries. This air-based atmospheric water generation technology, we are generating our energy in the from the air. So actually, the key differentiation is we consume very less energy to harvest water from air. And also, even we can work in dry zone. And we have 8 filters, 3 air filters and 5 water filters to produce very healthy water, drinkable water. This table shows our competitors in the product lines about the air-based water generation systems. Now you can buy from the in the internet sites. Please check it. And the key problem, of course, the investment period or payback period. Both energy products and water products can less than 3 years, even in sometimes less than 2 years, the payback period. Yes, this is what we are aiming about energy and water infrastructure. We are increasing number of water and energy prosumers, and we are targeting self-sufficient homes and cities. The wireless energy and wireless energy to cities, and also pipeless water to cities. This is the key. Why? Because already there are no waters in the lake or the dams. So it means our current pipes in cities will not be used because of what? Because of the water scarcity. Last 30 years, the fresh water stress increased very huge. And next 15 to in 2050, 80%, it means 8 billion people in the world have very huge water stress. So this makes this makes us in a very huge potential market for the renewable energy and also traditional energy market. $5 trillion per year. It will be very huge energy market for us in the hard sector. Also, air water generation market currently $15 billion, and in 15 years it will be $30 billion. And range extender market for the cars for more than $1 billion, and it is increasing very fast. And of course, we can sell our boxes, or we can have a strategic producers, investors, and license-based or revenue-based sharings. We are open to discuss with the investors. Let me come to the summary. This is very critical. Mr. Hassan on the left side, he is the scientist guy and is the founder of RePG. He has just listed top 100 scientists, Turkish worldwide. He has more than 150 patents. He's the brain and scientist of the company. And I have been working more than 30 years for product and life cycle development in different countries, different international companies. And now also I am focusing for the last 8 years with the RePG team. Let's thank you for everybody. 2024, we have 4 targets. And now we are going global in the our region. We have sold our system more than 8 countries, both energy systems and also water systems. We are engaging now in Germany, in Saudi Arabia, and also US in the markets. So end of this year, we will have our, how can I say, branch in at least 3 different regions. So please take my contact. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for introducing us to RePG, same way.
Thank you.
For our last presenter, I would like to introduce to you Lumian Energy, founded in Delaware, USA in 2023. As a smart energy management solution, Lumian Energy uses purpose-built AI trained by industry experts to help customers calculate precise energy consumptions, improve efficiency, and reduce CO2 emissions. Let's hear Levent, COO and co-founder of Lumian Energy.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. MEXT plug and play. I am making a quick presentation because of the time passed. Who we are, Lumian is a SaaS startup that develops AI-based low-code, no-code energy management platform. We have really young and experienced employees. Well, we have 14 employees right now, and 9 of them is software engineer, and the other one is handling with operation. What we are trying to solve, energy is an emerging problem for all industries. So we are trying to find energy management is simple field for all industries and facilities. The solution start collecting data from the sites and making real-time monitoring, and after making suggestions for energy efficiency and helping avoiding extra energy bills. We have low-code, no-code infrastructure. We are offering saving between 10 to 30% of energy bills. We can monitor all energy and sustainable data. Lumian Energy platform collect all data related energy and sustainability to making machine learning algorithms, and we are making ERP MES integrations to collect the data and after offer you unit-based energy consumption, energy prices, and carbon dioxide emissions for unit base. Lumian Energy platform is an IoT-based hardware agnostic platform. Collect and visualize data on real time, analyze the data with machine learning algorithms, and after offering you energy saving and decarbonization solutions. We have 4 modules actually. The free one for 2 months demo, and after basic and premium one, no need hardware investments. The professional one need hardware investments for machine-based energy analysis. We have different customers to different sectors for industries, facilities, or retails, and we are trying to emerge our customers to retail business. Factories, buildings, shopping malls, hospitals, and all retail business. Actually, in 1 or 2 years, the houses will be our audience also. Our benefits, cost saving between 10 to 30%, reports with ISO standards, optimum tariff suggestions, electricity supply consultancy, zero penalties for the country regulations, invoice verifications, carbon tax avoidance, the regulations. For regulation updates, you will be here. Thank you, Plug and Play and MEXT, and thank you all the attendees.
Thank you, Levent, for your presentation.
Thank you,
and with that, we've arrived at the end of our meetup. Lumian was our final presenter for today. Thank you all for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the content. You can follow on our upcoming events by subscribing to the Plug and Play newsletter from our website, and you can always reach out to us for any comments and feedback. We will also share the recording of this session via email, and also we'll put it up on YouTube for future reference. Thank you once again for joining. We look forward to seeing you in our future meetups.